has to know that going in. Okay. 16 deals with whether it's a condo, planned community, and you know, you would get the resale information from that community for the HOA docs or any of that kind of stuff. Really, we don't have all those forms that Maryland has. Resale 12 or more units, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's a little over much. That's a little too much. Okay. It talks on page 11, 17, talks about appealing an assessment for the taxes. And there's a limited window in order to do that. It used to be you could actually just send in an appeal as an individual, and I did it on a property that I owned years ago, and they did reduce the taxes. But anymore, they want an appraisal. Usually you got to get an attorney to do it for you now. They want an appraisal and a bunch of other documents in order to appeal the tax assessment. Okay. The other thing is, and I don't know, I can't remember if Maryland or West Virginia has this, but Pennsylvania has also, comes out in the spring, I think it happened in April. There is a discount, a home, I'll be able to think what the name of it is. In Chambersburg, for instance, you get a discount if you claim the Homeowners Exemption Act. You guys?
Homestead.
Homestead, thank you. I was blanking out. Homestead Exemption Act, thank you.
That's what
But
it-
I'm amazed at how many people don't know about it and don't get it, because when they do that mailer, it looks like junk mail.
Yeah.
So people throw it away, and until you make them aware of it. But a lot of title companies now are saying, hey, we'll submit that for you.
Do they do that right away? Like in Maryland, don't you have to wait so long before you fill out that whole?
Yeah, there's only once a year, and if you miss the window, you gotta wait till the next year. Yeah, I can't remember, I think it's April.
July in Maryland, I think it is.
I can't remember. But it's like in my municipality, in Chambersburg School District, it's like $800 a year. It's significant. But other ones, it might be 100.
I think in Maryland, though, it's one time a year or when property transfers.
Oh, okay, that'd be
So you
good.
have a certain amount of time once the property transfers to
Okay,
submit.
right, yeah,
That's where a lot of title companies are just doing it.
right, yeah, helping people out. Yeah, page 11 talks about, at the top, the requirements for resale certificates, and that sort of thing needs to be delivered. And I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize in advance because I don't know if there is a, oh yeah, here we are. C3, the act provides that the buyer may declare this agreement void at any time before the buyer receives the association documents and for 5 days after receipt. So there is a period that you can, if you don't like the documents, that you can go ahead and declare the contract void and get your money back. That's, I don't, is it 14 days in Maryland? It's longer, I think. Huh?
No, it's 5 days to
Is it?
review.
Okay.
It's 5 days to review.
All right, well, that's what this one is.
You've got, I think that the addendum is written 20 days before settlement,
Yeah.
instead of 15 days after contract
Oh.
acceptance, which I wish they
Okay.
would change that, but
Condos is different than HO.
condos is, yeah, condos is 7.
Yeah, condos.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're different. I mean, it's the same
Right.
information, basically, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in here unless somebody had questions about maintenance and risk of loss. Seller has to keep the property insured and in good condition. PA has the, on page 12, the number 23, Foreign Investment and Real Estate Tax Act. So if you're a non-resident or if you're a foreign person, they're gonna withhold taxes at settlement on that seller. Next one is the Megan's Law. Everybody knows how to go on the website and check that out. I don't know if most buyers do that. I had the first time a buyer actually changed her mind. She liked the property in Hagerstown. She ended up buying PA. But she went on the Maryland website and found within a block and a half of the house she was interested in, was it like 140? It was some ridiculous
Oh my
number
gosh.
of sexual, I don't know, quote unquote sexual violations. Or,
Sexual
I don't know,
offenders.
yeah.
I had a
Yeah,
buyer-
so I don't know what all those, house, I think it did kind of tell you in the website what their crime was. I'm not sure. But it's like, it was a lot. She
And buyers
decided
do
she
that
didn't want to
in
live there. Huh?
I had a buyer do that in Urbana because of one that lived.
One, she
renter-
found one,
One renter that lived around the corner. She said, no way.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're typically having that conversation with your buyer. This is a young single woman who liked to jog, and she said, I can't see me jogging in this neighborhood, especially at night.
Not on that.
Yeah, all right. And Pennsylvania, as far as the default termination or return of deposits, down at 26C, it addresses if buyer and seller agree that if there is a dispute over entitlement to deposit monies that is unresolved, and it's, again, fill in the blanks, 180 if not specified, after the settlement date stated in paragraph 4A, blah, 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 then the broker holding deposit monies will, within 30 days of receipt of buyer's written request, distribute deposit monies to buyer. So the broker can go ahead and give the buyer their money back if you can't come to an agreement within those dates. Yes.
I've had a buyer have to wait 6 months for their deposit
Yeah,
because they couldn't agree on who gets the money.
right.
There was no-
And that's what this addresses.
So what I do is I always change that 180
I make mine 90.
on every contract.
Yeah.
For 30 days,
Right.
let them,
The only thing, and I think Sandy dealt with this, talked about this at another thing we did, in a case where it's being held by a title company. They're not required to follow real estate law, so they can do whatever they want with it, so I think that can be kind
That's
of,
why they have that new addendum, the third-party escrow agreement now in the contract, where
Right.
they come out with, and that's actually, I think, passed legislation that you have to use that, so that it's, basically it says the same thing that the broker law says in the state of Maryland, which
right,
Maryland, we can release if we give a 30-day notice letter.
okay,
So, but this kind of just addresses it in a different way from Pennsylvania.
right. But I don't know what brokers did in the past where you would have a deposit and you could never get an agreement on who got the money. I guess that just had to sit in your escrow account and you had to,
Or you can hand it over to the court system, I can file an interpleader and hand it over to them and say that costs money and it comes out
Right.
of the deposit, so it's like, would
Thank
you
you,
do
done.
that?
There's no deposit.
Right.
There's not much deposit left, so.
page 13, one thing that I always check is the seller's limited to retaining sums paid by buyer. So basically, any liquidated damages would be no more than just their deposit. Everybody else do that typically when you're doing a PA contract? Yeah. And I don't know if that's gonna completely eliminate the risk to the buyer that if the seller, had a loss as a result of the contract. I don't know if that would prevent them being sued for that, but I would think having it in writing right on here would help protect them. Okay, and then mediation, Buyer and seller will submit all disputes and claims that arise from this agreement, including disputes and claims over deposit monies to mediation. So you automatically agree to mediation when they sign this document. Okay? Make sure your clients are aware of that. I don't know if it's something discussion we have or not. Yes.
They don't have to accept the mediation, they can get an attorney and sue if they really want to, right?
They have to go to mediation first, and if you can't agree, then you can sue.
In Maryland is different, correct?
Yes.
No, in
Well-
Maryland, you have to go to mediation first.
First,
It
okay.
says it in the contract, yep.
Yeah. So if you would go to court and the attorney, or the judge, or whoever reads this document, they're gonna say, did you go to mediation?
That's why you'll see a lot of times when attorneys will do,
That's what I mean,
they
attorneys,
cross,
you know, they
attorneys tend to cross that.
wanna try to talk them into.
Well, banks, yeah, if you're selling a bank property or whatever, they're crossing these whole sections out. They don't deal with mediation. Okay. Of course, the next release is to protect us. 29 is the real estate recovery fund, and you guys know what that basically is. If you know, there's a loss to the buyer, and you know, whoever that broker was closes up their shop and they're not around anymore, there are funds available through Pennsylvania. You could submit to get reimbursed for, you know, and I don't know.
It's not like it's like the guarantee fund.
Guarantee fund
In
in Maryland, exactly. Yeah. 30 talks about communication, and I know we still do an addendum in addition to this agreement that says it's okay to do things by electronic email, electronic signatures, but this kind of talks about that as well. Okay. And then the last page, special clauses. Those are the few addendums that aren't incorporated into this document in PA. And they're like house sale contingencies, the different types, appraisal contingency, and short sale addendum. I mean, there are other addendums, but they're the ones that are probably most common. Okay? Any questions about any of this?
What is an example of liquidated damages?
If the seller, like, if the seller had to have a cost to do something as a result of the contract for the buyers,
The septic inspection.
yeah, that'd be a good example, like the septic
So
inspection.
that is in contrast to damages or just time on the market, whatever.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think that counts as, like, gee, we could have had another buyer, and we lost this time, and we had to reduce the price, and it doesn't really take any of that into account. Yeah. So, does anybody, who all wants a copy of here's a nice 55-page document from PAR, yeah, Mike, 55.
Can we put that in the Google document?
We could just, we could just email everybody.
just scan it in.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
just scan it and turn to Google Drive.
All right. Instead of killing more trees.
Right.
All right. Any questions?
Thank you, Mike.
What'd you buy for lunch?
I
Speaker always
I
pays.
see
Chili.
chips.
Sandy paid for lunch, I think, today.
Sandy paid for
so.
lunch. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Yeah, please grab lunch, guys, it's there. So yeah, we will, Mike will get a copy of that and we'll upload that to Google Drive. And
Okay.
it'll be there for everybody. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We opened this up, we opened this up.
booked out, I was.
Finally, after a
Certain
year and a
trains
half.
we do.
That was great, man.
Of course.
Hang out to the railway.
My neighbor, well, was my neighbor.
Yeah. I think she's in Warren's Mill now. She's not in
2 doors
Warren's.
down from me,
She is now?
in one that's been.
Yeah.
I have renters out there now. She was.
Yeah, I'm saying, I didn't know.
Oh,
she
that's a
moved.
disaster.
Right.
So,
I don't know. That's one, that's the.
Hey, it's good to see you, Shannon. How are you? Good. Thank you. I just never seen you often. And I'm so freaking. No, it's, I like opening that one. I squeeze it out every single time.
I like the number too, that's. why.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to put on water.
And not years, maybe. But
Right.
that was my first. Oh, absolutely. It is actually a good contract.
yeah, new construction, is big and
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
Oh, but you just have to turn down some of the. And if I say, I just pull it down right now. You gotta do the spring. No, I'm not. Yeah, but thank you so much. Good to see you.
See, you said, how do you?
All right, Cass. I will do that.
What are you doing, everybody? You doing? You doing on the crap? Very good. Oh. Yeah, we got those.
Oh, man. Your grandma's in Carroll Valley.
Jason.
Down the street.
Something training?
That trail could be, man, it's all that nice ranch.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And it's not, and the one,
All right.
We're getting better.
I forgot to turn the recording off.
Oh.